Hello everyone! Today, I'd like to share a story about one of the most unforgettable vacations my family and I have ever experienced. Over the years, we've had our fair share of trips, and each one holds special memories. But there's one trip that stands out the most. The time we went on our very first cruise in September 2024. We sailed on the Icon of the Seas to the Western Caribbean, and it was a trip like no other. Now, this all started back in the summer of 2023 when a friend of ours mentioned something exciting. She told us about the Icon of the Seas, the newest and largest cruise ship in the world, set to launch in January 2024. Can you imagine a ship that's not just big, but huge? Almost like a floating city. This ship was designed to have everything you could ever want, with a crew of 2,350 people and a capacity to hold 7,600 passengers. Yes, 7,600. It had 20 decks, 7 swimming pools, and 6 water slides. Plus, it had the tallest waterfall and the largest water park of any cruise ship. It was beyond anything we had ever imagined. That night, we couldn't stop talking about it. My family and our friends started thinking, what if we all went together? And so, we started planning. Fast forward a few days, we had 15 people all booked and excited for the trip. I knew this vacation would be extra special because we would be sharing it with our special friends. Finally, the day came. We flew down to Florida, where we spent a night in the hotel to rest. It was a long travel day, but we knew the next day would be the start of something amazing. The morning after, we set off to the port. As we drove closer, we looked out of the window and saw so many beautiful cruise ships docked, but none were as towering and impressive as the Icon of the Seas. It was truly the biggest of them all, standing proudly at the port. I could hardly imagine we were about to board such a massive ship. Once we stepped aboard, we were greeted by something spectacular, the Pearl, the world's largest kinetic art sculpture. It was breathtaking, and it set the tone for everything that followed. The ship was like a floating city, full of restaurants, shops, pools, and so many attractions. We felt like we were walking through a bustling neighborhood, and I was in awe at every turn. The first thing we did on the ship was visit Thrill Island. My daughter was beyond excited to see the water slides, and let me tell you, they were huge. She couldn't wait to try them. With her adventurous spirit, she was the first to take the plunge. I could see a little apprehension at her at first, but she loved it. She also spent hours trying to master the Flow Rider, a surf simulator. She was so determined to surf like a pro, and it was amazing to see how much she improved each time. As you can imagine, when you're on a cruise, food becomes a big part of the adventure. There's a saying that memories are made over meals, and for us, that was definitely true. Our favorite spot for meals was the Windjammer Cafe, where we could eat whenever we liked. The buffet had endless choices, from international dishes to classic favorites. And guess what? We even had unlimited lobster. The desserts were out of this world, and we enjoyed every bite while overlooking the beautiful ocean. It was the perfect setting to share stories and laughter with our friends, making every meal even more special. Of course, the cruise wouldn't be complete without entertainment, and we had no shortage of that. The shows on board were incredible, like something straight out of Las Vegas. We watched Aqua Action, a standing water performance with daredevil diving. There was also Starburst, an ice skating show that blew us away with its precision and artistry. But the show that really stole our hearts was The Wizard of Oz. At first, I wasn't sure what to expect, but the production was absolutely spectacular. The transitions between scenes were seamless, and the costumes and the performances were so vibrant. I'm so glad we decided to watch it. The ship also took us to some beautiful islands in the Western Caribbean. One of the highlights was Coco Bay, a private island in the Bahamas. It was like stepping into paradise. The tropical water was crystal clear and inviting, and the soft, white sand felt like nothing I had ever experienced before. The weather was perfect, sunny skies with no clouds in sight. We spent hours walking barefoot on the beach, enjoying the peaceful surroundings. The food was also amazing, with local seafood and fresh tropical fruits that made every meal feel like a celebration. This vacation was truly the most memorable trip my family and I have ever taken. From the size of the ship to the incredible places we visited, it was a vacation that exceeded all our expectations. But what made it even more special was the fact that we all traveled with our friends. Sharing those experiences with them made the trip even more enjoyable than we could have imagined. And so, that's the story of my most memorable cruise vacation. It's a trip that will forever hold a special place in my heart. And I hope that someday you'll all get the chance to experience something just as magical. I'm Rochelle Dacanay. Thank you for listening to my story.